You have sad news to report here out of the music world. The drummer and co-founder of metal band Pantera has died. This announcement made here on Facebook saying that Vinnie Paul has passed away. He was only 54 years old, and overnight tributes from other musicians came pouring in. This is a tribute here from Bret Michaels saying that Vinnie was a great friend. His heart is aching. He posted a picture of the two of them together. Papa Roach, the band, posted this overnight saying that they are gutted to hear about the nicest guy in metal passing. Vinnie Paul showed us nothing but love. Mary? You have
nobody touches us at all. Shout out, shoot out, spread me on thin without it. We got outside, what's off the world. Spread the word throughout the land. They say, bad guys, we're black. We're tagging cancer, man. You see us coming and you all together run for cover. We're taking over this town. Here it now, it's for you gone, and you better listen well, my friend. You see, that's now down below. You and the devil for now. Tears down again, we want. They talking no talk tales. We're just how new you're doomed. Coming me out with the devil for now. Oh, I'm gonna do the village. That's the scene, but better not take it out on me. Cause your sound is found where your city used to be. So out of the darkness and into the light. Sparks fly everywhere inside from our trouble barrel. 12 gauge cannot be at your kind. You see us coming and you all together run for cover. We're taking over this town. Here they come, reach for your gun, and you better listen well, my friend. You see, it's down below. Aim at you with the cover from out. Tears down, again we war. They talking no talk tales, friend. Cause I knew you're too coming me out with a cowboy from hell. So well, my friend, you see, it's best now down below. Aim at you with a cover for now. Get it down again, we want. Ain't talking no talk tales, friend, cause I knew you're too coming me out with a cover for now. Ow, step aside for the cover for me.
Welcome to Post Politics. I have no idea what the hell just happened there. It just kind of repeated itself.
We just repeated. I was like, all right, we're going for a round 2 of Cowboys from now. I'm good with it.
Yeah, okay. Like, while I would love to annoy the audience enough just to play nothing but Cowboys from Hell on repeat for 2 hours, you're like, yeah, just stick it on repeat.
Oh, we're just gonna do this, huh?
What we should do is
the most repetitive copyright infringement we've gotten.
Right. And not only that, but like come in like maybe every like 4 times that it plays.
All right, we're gonna kick off a new one for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Do 90s DJ rock radio for you. Come and
yes.
out the pits of the Texas Southern Trendkill. It's Pantera with Cowboys from Hell. Kick it, Zach.
Yeah, I was like, and then I saw you step into the camera. I was like, all right, he's gonna fix that in a second.
Oh my God, would that be annoying? Anyway, kicking your communist cornholes in with the boot of freedom. It's Post Politics on a Sunday night. What's going on out there in Radio Land, everybody? I hate to fucking tell you, this show's not gonna be for everybody tonight. I've been in a shit mood and had a lot to fucking process and deal with over the weekend. My fucking pool, I've had to take apart my whole goddamn pool like twice. My filters, and it's been a nightmare. And the goddamn things I got fiberglass all up in my arms. You know, Friday night.
Dude, that'll fucking ruin your goddamn day right there alone.
Yeah, I hate that. I haven't had it in a while, but that fiberglass shit really gets like. It's just a constant annoyance, you know. When you deal with that shit, it gets on you. You can't wash it off, really. Like you can try to, but it ain't gonna be gone. You know what I mean?
When I was doing the mediation, like the remediation and shit, after Hurricane Harvey, man, it was such a fucking pain in my ass because it was like every day, and you could get it off of you, and it's just back the next day. It doesn't even fucking matter. So Right. But, yeah. And, well, like I said, this show tonight, probably be for a better part of our fans, but not everybody that listens. We got Pantera. We lost Vinnie Paul, Friday night. I woke up to it Saturday morning, to the news. And, I just pulled a bunch of Pantera. I've got the one song from Damage Plan, that album that Vinny and Dimebag Darrell did when Darrell was shot on stage back in 2004. Yeah. So I've got, then I've got Hell Yeah, which I've been listening a lot to today, and I'm like, man, like I didn't really like keep up with those guys as much as I probably should have, you know, but they've got some really stellar shit. Chad, the guys from the bass player and the guitar player from Nothing Face, which is a great band that I was really, really hip on from like 99 to probably 2005 and when they broke up. And then Vinnie Paul, of course, on drums, and Chad Gray from Mudvayne, and Greg from Mudvayne was a second guitar player for the first 2 albums. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Greg and Chad from Mudvayne, and then Greg left the band. I don't know what the hell happened with that, but yeah, Vinnie Paul is gonna be the drummer on every fucking song that we play tonight with 3 different bands. So, we'll hit the intro here in a second, but I believe I've told this story on air before, but I probably a couple times. But my interaction with Vinnie Paul, I know I've told you this. Yeah, I know that I said this, but it was just such a weird thing because it was in Orlando. You know, it was less than a year after Darrell got shot on stage, and one of my roommates, his buddy worked the door at this fucking cowboy bar called Cowboys here in Orlando, which is in the most hood fucking place.
Of course it is, yeah.
but it's cowboys and all the fucking, you know, Uber, all, you know, there's a lot of like Eric Church, Jason Aldean motherfuckers that show up there. You understand?
Yeah. Oh no, I understand completely. I don't think you could have given me a better description. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So that's kind of the clientele there. But we go in and we didn't pay cover because, like I said, my roommate's boy is the doorman there, and he's like, "Hey man, Vinnie Paul's at the fucking bar." I was like, and me and Josh, my buddy, my roommate, fucking lost his mind. He's from Dallas, you know.
Yeah.
Like he lost his mind. I lost my mind, and like, you know, there was maybe like 4 or 5 people there that knew who the fuck he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went up to the bar, I fucking ordered a drink, and, you know, I basically looked over and I said, you know, he goes, "Is that it?" I ordered my Beam and Coke, you know, and he's like, "Is that it?" And I said, and, whatever Mr. Abbott is having, and gave him I was 21 years old and I was a complete douche nozzle, right? But I was fucking nervous in that private setting. I'm a better dude when I meet you out back of the concert, you know what I'm saying? That you just played, you know, but I'm doing my thing that I normally do, and I'm meeting Vinnie Paul for the first time.
Yeah,
and I'm
fucking Christ, dude.
out. So he orders whatever, and that was kind of like an icebreaker for me, and I was broke as shit at the time, by the way,
but it's totally worth it though.
I put Vinnie Paul a fucking $10 mixed drink on my tab, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
hell yeah, dude, I would have too. I have fucking at my poorest moment for a fucking shot at chatting it up with fucking Vinnie Paul for a second.
So I just said, "Hey man, you know, I don't want to bother you, but I appreciate you, and thank you for the music, and thank you for the inspiration, and you're one of the reason I picked up drumsticks, you know, when I was a kid, and you know, yada yada yada." And he gave me a flyer for some tribute album they were putting together for Dimebag, and I said, you know, we'll keep on rocking, you know, whatever. I said something along those lines, and I you know, thank you, and I appreciate it, and fucking took off. You know, I didn't bother the guy all night or whatever, but you know, and he was just sitting there by himself at the fucking bar. You know, it was fucking crazy. But yeah, that's my Vinnie Paul story. But like I said, he was very, very receptive and thankful that I, you know, said what I said. Fucking super nice dude, even just for the couple minutes that we chatted, you know. So yeah, man, it's fucking I don't know, man. Definitely one of the dopest fucking rock band brothers of all time that we've now lost.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. I mean,
like Liam and Noel Gallagher and fucking the Chris and Rich Robinson from the Black Crowes, and those guys hate each other. Fucking Vinnie Paul and Dimebag Darrell were like best friends, and they're fucking gone. You know what I mean? Like, fucking sucks, man.
Yeah, man. I actually, like, I've never met him. Like, my cousin actually, like, my cousin does a lot of, like, the, you know, underground, I guess you'd call it, metal scene in Dallas. Sure. Like, he's been in, you know, 2 or 3 bands. And he's, you know, him and his wife have said, you know, I mean, they've hung out with fucking Vinny and all the guys of Pantera fucking multiple times. And my cousin's older than me, too. He's in his 40s. So that was kind of their
right. He was
age
like,
group, you know.
Like, at the age where Pantera broke, he was a teenager. So.
Exactly. And and so, like, he's got, like, all kinds of pictures with them and shit like that, you know, and everything, though, he's ever said about fucking Pantera as a whole, like, everybody in the fucking group, like, dude, they were just cool as fuck. And now I'm sure it's one of those things of, like, you're a Dallas native, it's even more of, like, your hometown hero kind of fucking, you know, cool deal. But those guys, man, like, you know, I mean, me getting into metal when I was a kid, man, like, fucking, like, that was Pantera was it, dude. Like,
hands down, and no, if you can call up and argue with me all you want to, but you'd be wrong once again. Once Metallica, like, put out Load, you know, like one could argue, you know, the Black Album came out, and, like, Guns N' Roses came out, but of course that was, like, even more, like, commercial at the time. Fucking Pantera undoubtedly saved metal in the 90s.
Oh, yeah, dude. When the Great Southern Trendkill came out and
97. And I mean, fucking Far Beyond Driven in 94.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Vulgar Display of Power in 92.
I just listened to, within the past 2 hours here, just listened to the entire album of Vulgar Display of Power. And god damn, dude, like, I still, to this day, dude, like, the next track comes on and I'm like, oh, fuck yes.
Right.
You know what
Nothing
like,
kicks you in the dick like those fucking Pantera songs, man. There was no other band in the 90s that fucking kicked you straight in the fucking dick and balls like Pantera did. No way.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really did. They
get off me, but you'd be wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and it's even cooler because they were like, for a metal band, they're one of the only ones, and especially of the bigger bands, that like had that southern feel to them, and they were like, and they made that a thing, you know.
Right.
So
and stuck to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that never went away. Yeah.
There was no wavering off of the fucking beaten path, no matter how bad they or how good they, you know, or popular, I should say, they got. You know what I mean? And it wasn't really until like 98 or 99 until like some more bands that were really hardcore, like, you know, the Slipknot's first album came out in 99, you know, like, I mean, there was nothing else like that up until that time. It was just Pantera was about as hard as you can get, you know, especially for us Southern folks. But
yeah, definitely.
You know, we'll get into a handful of other shit, and you know, I don't know. I guess we've got a couple issues that are on. You know, we mentioned one off air before we went live, so we'll get into some things and some stuff. So stay tuned. Post politics, more of it coming up in 2 minutes. Everybody, stay tuned.
And the sad part is that most people seem to have been indoctrinated to believe that bullshit only comes from certain places, certain sources. Advertising, politics, salesmen, not true. Bullshit is everywhere.
The NWO fighter, the show that gets America its balls back.
And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, by all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
I don't want to put a violent connotation on it, but this is a war zone. I'm talking about my life and yours.
If you're not on some government list by now, you're doing something wrong.
After 8 years of lies and hypocrisy, people love this guy. Leads me to a very disturbing question. How far up your ass does this guy's dick have to be before you realize he's fucking you?
It's good for kids, too.
I mean, you're born absolutely free except for laws of nature. Those, if you drink, you get drunk. That's a law. If you get old, you die. That's a law, too. If you sit on a tack, you will bleed from the ass. These are the only laws that you're born with, and any government just fucks you out of that type of freedom.
If you're not involved by now, you are just as much at fault as our oppressors.
I was terrified when my doctor told me that I had a unique and interesting personality trait.
It's Post Politics with Trip here.
All right, everybody.
Woo!
Back at
Woo!
this thing. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, I accidentally pressed the repeat thing.
Yeah.
On my sound bar. That's why the song. Okay, yeah, we're getting multiple woos and Cowboys from Hell tonight. But don't worry, it's fixed now. Okay,
Yeah, that's not a problem.
I see the error of my ways, and we're moving.
I mean, there's definitely things that we could get worse repeats of, so it's all right.
Mm-hmm. God, could you imagine a 2-second fucking woo clip for 2 hours straight?
Oh my fucking God. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, that doesn't need to happen.
Okay, so like my major meltdown, and once again, so I can explain myself perfectly clear here.
Yeah, and give the full explanation, because I know the story, but honestly, to tell you the truth, I only know it from memes. I haven't actually looked into the story at all. I just saw it and thought it was ridiculous.
Right. So, and it was the actual waitress that posted this. You know, I'm sure she's glad to have somebody. Any waitress, you think the waitress gives a flying fuck if you get a famous person or somebody with any notoriety? as a waiter or waitress, I would take that. Oh, I'm sorry, they're called servers now. Remember, if we change the language, we
That's
somehow
a fucking waitress.
The
Bitch is a waitress.
If we do that, if there's a famous person,
I'll call that bitch garçon, knowing it means boy.
Right, yeah. I'll take the pancakes in the Age of Enlightenment. Yeah, like a Vegas waitress is gonna get a Renaissance reference, and she goes, hold on, Voltaire." That's a great joke in Swingers, by the way.
Yes, it is.
It's a fucking very smart joke, but no, like if you get somebody of any notoriety into your restaurant, fucking, I've worked restaurants, not in a probably almost fucking 15 years, but I'm telling you, everybody on the wait staff wants the fucking high profile table. You know what I mean? You're going to bank off of that. Your tips are going to be more than likely better than most. So, the waitress, I think, tweeted this out that Sarah Huckabee Sanders was just kicked out of this restaurant, by our owner, or whatever. And I think it's Lexington, Kentucky. Or Lexington, Virginia, excuse me. I'll have to look it up. God damn it. I thought I had this down pat, but I obviously don't. But they, anyway, they refused her service, basically. So I went on multiple tirades, and once again, for our Raz Radio Chaos Salty Talk family, this comes as no surprise. One of the guys that's on Bubba's network, I've mentioned him here before, Matt Major, has, I screen grabbed, what he put out, where it was like being something along the lines of being the biggest scumbag liar in the country other than the president has consequences. Wow. And I'm like, aren't you the people that say bake the damn cake? You know what I mean? So that was continuing to be my argument, and I really played it out when I did that too, because I, of course, as well as you guys all know on the show, especially, I don't always present my shit in the best for somebody that talks not for a living but does this for this many years should be able to. Let you know what the hell I'm talking about without running in circles for, however long I do to do that. I should
but it gets annoying fucking when you're typing. It does. It's a lot.
Right.
It makes for a different conversation altogether.
Context, your inflection is just not reciprocated in any way, shape, or form when you're doing this shit over text. So, okay, so here's I pulled the post up from my Facebook page, which I screen grabbed, and it was Matt Major saying, apparently being the world's most public scumbag liar has consequences. And it was an article shared from The Hill that says, waiter claims Sarah Huckabee Sanders kicked out of Virginia restaurant. And I said in response to that, so if I own a restaurant, I could refuse service to black and gay people. You wouldn't have a problem with that, right? It's just further pointing out the whole fucking deal.
Yeah, but I'm sure that was a but you're born black or gay, right?
Or something like your morality is wrong. So it's like, that's debatable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even then, it doesn't really fucking matter. To some people, she's not offensive.
Right, but that's what I mean. Like somebody that's an atheist that has multiple abortions is immoral to me. That person is somebody that I would deem to be immoral. Or whatever. Or they don't have a good foundation for life or whatever. But anyway.
No, I mean, I don't think that the I mean, even with that though, I would make the argument that you being immoral doesn't mean that I don't like you. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I detest you as a person, but I would say that I know women who have had abortions, and I find abortions to be immoral, but I don't fucking
I don't
hate those women.
Person.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't hate you because you've had an abortion. I find it.
Well, and I mean, how much of a fucking hypocrite would I be, knowing that I have done immoral things as well? You know what I mean? Like things that I find immoral, right? The only thing that we can do is try and fucking do better next time, kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Right. But no harm, no foul. Whatever. I'm not the one that's supposed to be this moral center of the. And I don't claim to.
I'm not fucking claiming to be Christ. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what overall leftism has really championed, is that they're the ones that like just speaking Christianity as quote hate speech to these people. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like you might not believe in Jesus, but and if you don't, then that's your deal, man. You know, everybody's got their.
I always get, and I don't want to like fucking take us onto a different fucking thing here. But like, see, that's something that I always get crossed up with. All right, because I'm not necessarily a Christian, right? But I do believe in the teachings of Jesus, right?
Right.
I believe that they're good and productive, and you should fucking learn from them.
That's your prerogative, and no one should fucking bother you about that. Because
it should just be like, hey, dude, that's my fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Right. That's my deal. But anyway, and some of this I've said on the show before, as we, discussed these types of issues before, but I went back and forth with a whole lot of people, and I'm not just going to sit here and read Facebook posts all day, and we'll get, past this and into more of a conversation about it.
This too shall pass, my friends.
Yeah. But after going back and forth and not everybody necessarily getting what the fuck I'm really trying to say here, I said, to be as clear as I can be here, my position has always been, if you own a business, deny service to whoever you want. The market and community will dictate whether your business is a success or fail. Deny a service to whoever or whatever demographic you want to, but don't expect me to patron your business. That being said, I'm not the hypocrite that's rallied, quote, no one should be denied service mentality since this issue has come to the forefront the past few years. That's that's as clear as I can put it of how I view things. Like, you people are hypocrites. That's all I'm saying. Like, you deny service to whoever you want to. Fucking, like we've said that plenty of times. Put up a no blacks allowed. Fucking me and you ain't gonna eat there, but
I won't fucking be there. But it doesn't fucking matter. Like, you should be able to do that. Like, I mean, dude, you should be able to have no fucking white people allowed here. That shouldn't be a fucking listen. I'm gonna think you're a dick. But it doesn't fucking it doesn't change the fact that you should have the right to fucking do it. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna say this place. I'm not gonna go. This place makes the best fucking enchiladas, and they have a fucking no white people allowed shit up there. I do want those enchiladas, but guess what? I'm not gonna fucking give them my money. I can make enchiladas. I know how to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll make my own fucking enchiladas, and they've got the internet out there that'll fucking leak your goddamn recipe. Fucking make my own.
Yeah, exactly. Put my own tweak on it. You know what? I'm starting to add
These are fucking white man enchiladas, bitch.
Right. I've been starting to add rotel to mine, is what I've been doing, and mixing in with the chicken and putting that rotel.
Man, my only problem is I just fucking hate rotel, and it's not because of anything rotel specific. I fucking hate tomatoes, dude, with a goddamn passion.
Oh,
it's like the only fucking thing that I just absolutely dislike is fucking tomatoes.
Zach,
like,
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
No, dude. Like, here's the thing. Like, I don't really like mushrooms, right? But I will eat them if cooked properly, right? Like, I won't eat like fucking raw mushrooms. I mean, unless they're gonna fuck me up, right?
That's the only way I'm eating mushrooms. Know what?
But see, I've had steaks that had like mushroom sauce on them, and they had cooked the fucking mushrooms enough to where the texture wasn't real fucking weird for me. Right. And it was all right. But see, that's really my thing, is I'm more of a texture person. Like
me too.
Tomatoes, the reason I don't like tomatoes is I fucking hate the texture, and so because I love ketchup, right? Like, it's not like, and obviously ketchup's got other things in it, but whatever. It's I just don't like the fucking texture of tomatoes.
Corn syrup.
Exactly. But high fructose corn syrup makes everything better. You know what I mean?
Except cancer cells growing in your fucking gut.
Except for like your fucking heart and all that. Yeah, whatever.
Right. But no, man, like, I'm just saying there is a clear, we've moved into a place in this world where nobody should have natural consequences. Even the people that are despised should not be like I guess the overall way the left looks at this issue is like not even those people should be subject to the natural consequences of their actions. We have to have government step in.
Yeah, dude, you need mommy and daddy to come in and fucking save it.
This is a huge problem. One of the biggest problems. But
yeah,
it's
I would say it's probably the biggest problem, because I think it's what leads to all the other, and I think, like, we've had similar conversations, right? But I think that the reason that we allow the wars, that everything that we have a problem with, I think goes on because we've fucking decided that fucking government is somehow benevolent. And,
right.
And that's really our problem. Like, I mean, we have just...
Or it can fix all of our problems. Like, the left has a huge deal in that. And I know I'm sounding like a fucking Trumpanite or whatever right now, but like...
No, I mean, I think,
government is good government. That's
people can interpret it that way, but I mean, like, look, dude, like, I've gotten to the point that I don't give a fuck if I'm... Because it's happened pretty often, right? Like, I've had to...
Right.
Yeah, like, I mean, dude, especially with this little immigration thing, I'm like, dude, goddamn, you guys are fucking retarded. Like, there's a fucking policy that Clinton started in 97 that's been enforced by Bush, Clinton, and fucking Obama. Fucking Trump gets rid of it, and you guys are blaming him for it. It's fucking insane. Like, that's how well the media has fucking completely fucking skewed your view of shit.
Right.
Like, it's one of those things that you're like, wait, the guy put through an executive order to get rid of the policy you don't like, and you hate him for it? Who the fuck? What kind of backwards ass fucking, what kind of backwards bullshit ass view could you possibly have where you blame the guy who got rid of the policy you don't like?
That's what I mean, though.
It's fucking stupid.
In my mind's eye, like, look, of course, I didn't like Bush, you know, but it's like, man, George Bush wasn't hated as much. You know, maybe it was because it was on the fucking heels of, you know, 9/11 and all that shit.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely believe that.
Holy shit, they really have an axe to grind, and fucking Donald Trump is not nearly what fucking Bush was.
No.
At all.
No.
Like this level of, like, they're all politicians, all presidents, unless you talk about, you know, the first couple, were complete scumbags. You know, they enacted more shit into our lives that this country was never supposed to be. Yeah. And now we have this thing where, like, everybody is aloof on what the real fucking deal is. Everybody wants to play not just party politics, but have such an ill conception of the way things truly are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've never, I mean, honestly.
Fuck in the Fed now. Nobody. Dude, I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, the immigration thing is the biggest baffling fucking thing to me, because of the fact that, like, I just haven't ever seen somebody angry at the guy who got rid of the policy for the policy. Like, I've just never... Because here's what it is.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Like, holy shit, this guy got rid of the policy you don't like, and you're mad at him. Like, what the...
Right.
Like, dude, if he was the evil fuck you said he is... Like, now, I'm not saying that he's not fucking misguided. I'm not saying that he's not fucking wrong. I'm not saying that he's not even fucking greedy and fucking shitty, right? Like...
Sure.
All of those things. He probably could, you know, be explained in that way fucking for all of those things. My thing is, the dude got rid of the policy you don't like, and you're mad at him for the policy. And that's just fucking dumb. And that was my thing, like, I've had conversations with people multiple times on it. And that's exactly what I've said, is like, dude, the fact that you can be mad at him for something else, right? Like, I'm mad at him for other things, right? But I'm not going to be mad because the guy... I think it's wrong that you separate children from their parents, and fucking he said, hey, I'm going to put through an executive order. I'm not even going to ask Congress. I'm going to go ahead and fucking bypass Congress and get rid of this policy because I don't care how they feel about it. It's fucking evil. And why am I going to be mad at him for that? That's fucking stupid. Like, that's fucking... And by the one thing that you could side with Trump on, Trump has been against the fucking child molesters and the fucking... and that kind of shit since he came into office. He was one of the only people that went after the sex trafficking thing and shit like that.
Absolutely. So, like I said, it's not. We don't have to praise the guy, nor do we have to like condemn it. If it's a right move, it's a right move. If it's a wrong move, it's a fucking wrong move.
And that's my thing, is that my deal with it is actually more about the people that are talking shit about him for getting rid of it, or well, not for getting rid of it. They're acting like he never got rid of it, but it's more a look on society and how fucking skewed their views are by media portrayal of shit. You know what I mean? Than it is about Trump. You know what I mean? Like, I still think the guy's a shithead, but when you hate the guy that got rid of the policy because the media tells you he's the guy that started it, when you just could fucking look it up and it started in 11, 12 years ago.
Fucking true social media didn't really come to a rise until, we had I think I got a MySpace page in like 2006, 2005.
Yeah, because I think I got one I think I probably got one around the same time, because I remember even then MySpace, you could only get one if you had a college ID, or you know what I mean, like before, like you couldn't get a MySpace deal unless you were
of age.
Of age and had a college ID. So with me, I was in the military, so I didn't have a college ID, and then also I didn't really care, I guess, at the time.
Sure.
It wasn't a fucking thing.
It was relatively a brand new thing, like we message boards. I remember that like from high school.
Yeah.
I was on message boards and shit,
Yeah.
But no, what I was gonna say is, like, until Obama came into play, and then you didn't really realize how left-leaning all of and the prominence that arose from these social media platforms just in the time that Obama was in office. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't really realize how left-leaning these companies are, and the algorithms and the censorship that happens and all of that. Until the tides turn like they have the past 2 years, politically, whatever, in this country.
I would have to agree with you.
So you don't have like a quote unquote liberal media. You have these people that you have these people that can sit there and put out death threats to people on Twitter. And if they're arguing against a right-leaning person, those fucking left-leaning retards don't get fucking banned for life and all of their shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're seeing like a blatant persecution of anybody that's outside of like this democratic platform, and libertarians and anarchists included.
Yeah.
We happen to be, a little bit more, right-leaning. What do they call that? Little L libertarian?
Yeah, you've got your little L is the people that believe in it philosophically, and your big L is libertarian, like the party. Yeah.
Party, right, yeah. So, like, these, little L libertarian people are getting fucking slammed, and, a lot of these people, don't get me wrong, there are a good portion of those people that kind of got lumped in justifiably to the, like, alt-right stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of alt-right people out there.
Right.
If anybody is fucking anybody who is championing the cause of like the white genocide, then they're probably alt-right.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm a fucking white boy, but I'm not really concerned about white people being killed.
People like Ben Shapiro has been like labeled like alt-right.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, it's got to be something on the right.
Jew as you can get.
Yeah, the dude wears a fucking yarmulke everywhere. Like,
absolutely.
And I got to be honest. Like, dude, even if I was a Jew, I'd have to consider like fucking being done with that fucking thing, just because it's such a weird little fucking thing.
Right, but
a weird little half hat,
fucking yeah.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that you didn't see this up until about 2 years ago, that the blatant display of power in complete media, social media, to oust, destroy careers
And we're not talking about Roseanne and Anthony Cumia and Nick DiPaolo.
Because those people, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, they're going to have, I mean, it matters to them. They want to, you know, they definitely, obviously want to have careers. But I just mean, like, those people aren't going to be.
And you people.
Yeah, I'm talking about people that lose their job and starve.
Yeah. We're talking about our 15, you know, our 10 to fucking $25 an hour people that fucking just want to go to work and feed their families, but they also have a fucking life and opinions online or whatever. And if that doesn't fit into said company's guidelines or whatever, like, you're out of the fucking gig, man. You know, it doesn't matter how hard you work anymore.
No, we don't care. And I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, that's kind of the way it's getting if you work for a
lucky I don't have that, dude.
Yeah, if you work for like a corporate company or things like that, like you're
couldn't go
like
back to doing that. Honestly, like, no one would hire me if that was the policy of said company. You know, it wouldn't happen.
I mean, I'm lucky enough that, like, look, dude, I live in fucking Texas and work in, you know, a fucking company that's associated with plants and shit like that. Like, it's not going to, nobody's going to be fucking surprised if I, you know, happen to be a little bit right-leaning. That's just not going to be the case.
But that's what I mean. Like, all of this stuff is starting to truly affect people's lives in very effective ways, you know.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things that you'll never see. It's crazy that you can watch, like, fucking Bush bomb all of these fucking countries and everybody can get mad, and then you can watch Obama do it, but it's like Obama's doing it for love and peace. It's so fucking disgusting.
It's like that sketch from Chappelle's Show where it was the gay chapter of the Ku Klux Klan. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, yes.
We hate, but we hate with compassion.
Yeah,
and then
hate with love. Like,
had you considered going back to Africa? You know, it's like that's the Obama administration. We can bomb Syria, but they're love bombs. You know, like,
no, I mean, dude, it's so fucking hilarious. Like that, like, I don't think people realize how things work, right? Like, even with when we're talking about the immigration thing, like, you know, you hear so much of like how this country was stolen, and you're like, all right, look, dude, I get it. But do you realize by that explanation, like, almost every country besides maybe some small place in Africa where humanity originated?
Who suffer mental illness are suffering from pain, and it's nothing to laugh at.
Yeah, no, I mean, but it's like there might be like where humanity originated in some little tiny fucking, you know, 3 mile square fucking radius. Right. That's the only place that wasn't stolen. So fuck off. Like, that's not the way it goes. Wars happen. And not only that, but I mean, like, dude, if you want to give some fucking respect where respect is due, consider the fact that with the fucking Native Americans, there was like a 400-year fucking war. We took out fucking, like, dude, like, we took out fucking Britain. Yeah, we took out Britain and, like, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like, no. Like, dudes with bows and arrows. Yeah, dudes with bows and arrows terrified fucking civilized people for a very fucking long time. They gave them the best war they've ever fucking had, right? But when it comes down to it, that's how shit works, dude. Like, the fucking...
Not only that.
And that's how it's worked throughout the entirety of human existence.
Now, and you know, I've always taken pride, you know, in my native heritage too. But, like, I think, you know, we had that conversation like a month or two ago, you know, where we were going, there's a certain American spirit that I'm very much a fan of, right? You know, not nationalism, an American spirit that
no, I mean, it would be heritage more than anything. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is, I didn't even understand this fully until high school, and I saw The Patriot, which was filmed probably about 30 minutes from where I grew up. Actually, The Patriot was filmed, and you see that influence on Mel Gibson's character from the Native Americans.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Why we have a country. And you can say whatever about quote unquote white people or whatever, but it was like, no, we were dealing with fucking tribal savages, you know, my ancestors.
And then we fucking learned how to fucking do that.
And they're like, oh no, we're colonials. We walk in a straight line and fucking everybody shoots their rifle at the same time. And they're like, fuck you, we're hiding in the bushes, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm jumping out of trees, bitch. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, we're gonna tomahawk your ass like John Rambo from the fucking top of the tree. And it's like, no, that's the way. That's war, motherfucker. You know,
that's real fucking war. That's how it works. Yeah,
that's how you win. But yeah, there's so much that goes into that quote unquote American spirit about that stuff that is just lost upon modern day society, where it's like, I don't know, me and you are, you know, we're just a different breed of fucking people our age overall, I guess. You know what I mean? We really are like a dying breed, and I don't really consider that to be like a, you know, my brother tells me shit like that all the time with his fucking ass, you know, like just, it's 2018, you know, keep up with the time. It's this year, keep up with the times. That's a thing of the past now. I'm like, is it? I was like, do you know how to do the shit? I don't know how to do shit, but I know how to do plenty of shit that you like would fucking die if you couldn't, you know, happen. And it's like, dude, I don't know how to do shit, but I've got the moral fortitude and at least a half wit to
I can figure it the fuck out.
To attempt to figure it out and get it done if I don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's in some of my I promised my wife I wouldn't get into it tonight, but that's been a good bit of, you know, my shit this weekend too, you know, where it's just like, fucking, can I be allowed to fail sometimes? You know what I mean? It's like I might, but guess what? I might get it right. And I've had plenty of those times too, where I might get it right. But that's just not the mentality of the people our age anymore. You know, it's not the mentality of the people our age to fucking handle their business. Like, they wouldn't know how to make a soy fucking cream latte if they didn't. It's like, no, you could probably make it for fucking $1 in your kitchen, but you're going to pay Starbucks $7 to make your fucking, you know, mocha frappa fucking fucktard.
No, it's terrible fucking, I mean, dude.
Or whatever. Like, go fuck yourself.
It's
you
garbage. No, and I mean, it really is, dude. We have a really fucked up view on like how things should be. I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, dude, I'm just so fucking sick of commercialism, like just altogether. It's fucking disgusting. Like
figure it out. Fuck you. People
are just fucking gross at this point.
It's the post politics plan. Fuck you. Figure it out. Yeah, that's our new slug line. Yeah, but. No, I'm with you, man. You know, it's like I don't claim to fucking know everything. I really don't. You know, I don't know how to do most, and I try to be good about not attempting shit that I could, especially if it's my own stuff. You know, try to attempt to do something I don't have good knowledge in. But it's like, yo, man, fucking, I watch some of the guys I work with, fucking in their 60s, but they sit there and watch YouTube videos to learn how to fucking do the shit that they don't know how to do. You know, this is where the cultures come to. So there's a meeting place here. You understand? You don't have to just abandon everything to take on another set of problems or a new platform. You don't have to abandon everything of the past because, how many times have we said that? Guess who's really worked out? Not all the cocksuckers that still owe $200,000 in fucking student loans that went to find a fucking job for. You know who's making bank? Guys like you and I that fucking learn to trade and learn how to fucking grind our ass off. Those are the people getting paid now. You got to
how that shit works.
You know, that Shapiro line. Sorry, there's no jobs in lesbian dance theory. If you want to major in that, then fucking be my guest. But, you know, don't act like you're deserved. You got
it's not going to work out.
You got a $200,000 student loan debt and you have no job because there's no jobs for lesbian dance theory. You know?
Yep.
So go fuck yourself.
It really is, man. Like, it's one of the craziest fucking things in the world. Like, that we sit back and have, I don't know. We sit back and bitch and moan about the way that life has been, like, since human existence. And we just act like what's been going on for the past, like, fucking 40 years is normal. Like, and it's like, dude, that's not, the 40 years is fucking nothing. Goddamn nothing.
I had a conversation with Britt about that the other day, and I had a conversation with my grandmother too about that. Same thing, like it was within the same realm. That I was talking to my grandmother about that. You know, she was bringing up some stories from, you know, back when, like when my dad and my aunt were kids or whatever. And I was like, you know, that's just one thing I just don't get. Like, I just don't understand how, like, yes, the technology's there now or whatever, but no, I had that revelation. I said, just because technology is moving at a certain rate does not mean, like, basically the human genome is fucking moving at that same fucking rate, right? You know, like the people, it's still within us. Like, they act like the difference between our kids and us as the children is couldn't be further apart, you know?
Yeah.
But they act like the technology speed has moved at such a rate that people have to morph almost into what the fuck technology's done. And that's just not the case. People themselves are not that much fucking different. No. They might think they are, but they're really not.
They're not. And I mean, and you're having to convince yourself that things are, I mean, look at it. Consider the fact that people that talk about feelings the most are the people that are like some of the most hateful fucking vitriolic fucking people you've ever fucking seen. Like, it's mostly people doing exactly what we've always said, right? Like, you despise the things that represent you the most, right?
Right.
And that's what they've done. I mean, you look at it, like, you've got these people that scream for, you know, to never be offended while they fucking offend everyone, but then justify the fact that they're extremely offensive to people that they don't like by saying that, like, well, yeah, but that's because he's a dick. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, nah,
right.
Though. Like, that's not how that works, right? He thinks you're a dick. By that fucking, you know what I mean? By your explanation or understanding of it, it would just keep going forever.
And nobody wants to sit here and but that's what I'm saying. Not only that, like, that guy's a dick. No, that guy's a dick. We are the fucking we're the dying breed here going like, hey, guess what? We're all dicks.
We're all a bunch of fucking dicks. Yeah, like...
Too, like,
dude,
but
we're all assholes, and I'm an asshole too. The only difference is that I admit that I'm an asshole, and to tell you the truth, I'm probably fucking better at it than you. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of the thing.
The difference is I'm your kind of asshole. So
exactly.
Boat tripping Zach in fucking 2020.
Dude, I say that all the time, and I'm like, I say it about like my best of friends. Like, dude, you are a piece of shit. I mean, you're my kind of piece of shit, but you're a piece of shit. You know?
Absolutely. So, okay, we're gonna hit a break, and we'll come back and push the reset button. We'll do Pantera, come back with some Hell Yeah, and we'll figure it out for this now. Much love. Stay tuned. Here's Revolution Is My Name.
Into the world war, 70s, a breath after the war. Life was confusing because of my age. Should my eyes open for tomorrow's games? I can't defy your defiance. It's all lies in alliance. I've been damaged, lived in ruin, 'cause I'm broken, flawed, and human.
Back at it, motherfuckers. What time it is. Double tap.
Yeah. Get the fucking repeat.
That wasn't even on repeat. I just
I could tell that was not a regular repeat because the last one was a lot fucking quicker.
Right. Yeah, it automatically restarted. But yeah. Back at it, man. Holy shit. As we contribute to the life, the memory of one Vinnie Paul. One thing that we didn't say right quick about Vinnie Paul was like, other than probably like Tommy Lee, like I'll put like 3 drummers probably as far as like, fuck you, drop the bottom end and just let the
yeah, dude.
Fucking Lars Ulrich, Tommy Lee, and Vinnie Paul had that fucking like deep. Like for me, it wasn't always there's a lot of people that like fast stuff. Okay, yeah. you can hit fucking 3,000 beats per minute.
Like your Megadeth shit, yeah.
Right. You know, like fucking the black metal guys love that shit. Yeah, you can hit
the double fucking double bass and
you can snare drum fucking 3,000 times inside of 1 minute. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Those people with that depth. If you've ever seen the year and a half in the life of Metallica, and it shows them making the Black Album in part 1 and touring for the Black Album in part 2. And at one point, Bob Rock tells Lars Ulrich, I just need a little bit more of that, you know, that good old Lars Ulrich snap on the snare, just some more weight. And that I thought about that term, and I've thought about it ever since I saw that. And I'm like, that is the correct term, weight. Yeah. You know, that just heavy, it's about how heavy it is. It's not about how fast it fucking goes to me.
Yeah.
You know? So if you can fucking lay out a very slow groove.
Well, I think that's one of the things that was so great about Slipknot. I think that's one of the things, because they had like a decent combination of that. Like I think there was a decent enough, you know what I mean? Like where you could enjoy that speed, but you also had the fucking weight, like you're saying. I mean, now mind you, they had fucking 2 drummers a lot of the time too.
Right,
so
2 percussionists and 1 actual drummer.
Yeah. And so it was it was a different fucking deal that you couldn't hit.
Like Slipknot is definitely percussively a fucking dynamic. You know?
Oh yeah, dude. You know something? This is a little bit off subject, but I feel like we're kind of fucking talking music, so I can fucking do this.
Yeah. Whatever the fuck you want to do.
Recently, I've been fucking watching like reaction videos for like music, just because it's interesting to watch people that like.
I've watched a few myself for the first time.
Yeah, dude. Like, and I've never been one for reaction video type stuff, you know. And but I've enjoyed like watching videos that were like, you know, somebody that's like really only listen to hip hop, listening to some fucking metal and shit like that, right? And one that I went off on last night was Disturbed the Sound of Silence, and watched like 3 different reaction videos of it. And fucking, dude, so many people, and I didn't know this. Simon and Garfunkel fucking tweeted out a fucking thank you to Disturbed and said, like, this is possibly the best cover that's ever been done of any song. And this was absolutely amazing. Like, what you did with this song was absolutely beautiful. And watching reaction videos of people damn near tearing up listening to the song, The Sound of Silence, and being like, God damn, dude, he did do so good with that.
That's another misconception about David Draymond. I mean, everybody knows it as like a gimmick, you know.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Even the drummer for Disturbed, I still have their first DVD that was released after the first album. Oh, yeah. Before the second album even came out, I still have that DVD from the first album. And, you know, he goes, my mom doesn't get it, you know, and Mike's like the youngest guy in the group or whatever. He's like, you know, my mom definitely is not going a waka kaka. And that's how he said it too. He goes, my mom doing a waka kaka, you know, or and whatever. And that kind of became like sort of like a shtick and a gimmick, like attached to David Draymond. However, he has a very distinct and
it's beautiful. And that song, dude, like, it really is, like, look, I feel like he got, and after listening, like I said, I listened to the fucking song probably like 6 times last night just because I was watching reaction videos, because I just got kind of hooked on, like, watching how it grabbed people, right? And I gotta say, dude, like, after listening to that song, like, absolutely, dude, Disturbed fucking grabbed the meaning of that song and I feel like the feeling that they were intentionally trying to get across with it, I think better than Simon and Garfunkel did. You know what I mean? And that's what was so fucking cool.
I'll tell you one that I watched just within this past week was a black hip hop, you know, guy that was into hip hop, you know, and like Start Stopping. It was like I guess like between like a 10 and 15 minute video, but it had him listening to every track on the first Rage Against the Machine album.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
But it was interesting to see him, of course, relate to the lyrical style of Zach, you know, doing his thing, what he was talking about, because like he was like, no, this is on some Public Enemy shit, you know.
Yeah,
like
because it really is. Like,
that was his correlation to that, right?
Yeah.
But I
because
tell
it
you
really
what,
is some Public Enemy shit. Like it is. I mean, you could
No,
definitely say that
absolutely.
they got a lot of their influence from Public Enemy. Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
But the most interesting thing about watching him react to each track was that of course the bass and drum groove that they have going on, and fucking really wigging out to Tom Morello's fucking
Oh God, yeah.
Guitar sound. You know what I mean?
I mean, I would have to say, dude, there's a lot of people.
Those bluesy solos that fucking
look, dude, there's a lot of people that have very distinctive guitar fucking sounds. Their styles are very distinctive, but there's very few that you could pick out of a fucking crowd like you could Tom Morello.
You can say what you fucking really want to, but like other than like guitar gods, as we call them, you know, the Yngwie Malmsteen, the Steve Vais, the Joe Satriani's, whatever. Not since Eddie Van Halen has anybody done with the guitar what Tom Morello did in the early.
No, I mean, he made it look like nobody's ever played that instrument before.
Right.
Like that was. I mean, that really was something that was cool.
If you've ever owned a Rage Against the Machine album, you damn well know that it lists all of the fucking people in the band, and then it says all sounds were made by drums, guitar, bass guitar, and vocals.
Yeah.
It says that on every
album. Yeah.
No, there's not a DJ there. That's fucking Tom Morello.
That's Tom Morello fucking rocking that guitar like a fucking god. I mean, that really is. That's. Dude, the guy was amazing, man, and people don't. It just sucks that kind of appreciation doesn't go into anything. Like, I mean, it really is. I mean, I think that's the new style of shit that sucks, right? Because even then you can.
It has been fucking sort of overshadowed.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, look, man, like you can say what you want to, and yeah, fucking, you know, those Che Guevara shirts. Like I never owned one of those Rage shirts. I have a couple.
The only Rage shirt I ever owned was the cover of the Evil Empire. I had a shirt that was that.
I had that one, and Fear Is Your Only God on the back. That's I had that one. I had the regular white one. They made one in white, black, red. They made them in a handful of colors, and it just said Rage Against the Machine and the typewriter. That's one that I had. I had one with Emiliano Zapata on it, who was like a you know, way better than Che Guevara, by the way, you know. But
I mean, I even say like, listen, dude. The fucking now you could liken it to the saying that fucking even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? But I would say, like, I mean, look, dude, you listen to fucking Rage Against the Machine, and like you can't tell me that they're not 100% right on a lot of their shit.
Right.
Like, what they're talking about is very right. Now, if what
their solutions are fucked up.
And even then though, their solutions, like I would argue that even a lot of the people, like when I listen to, I talked to a fucking syndicalist, right? Like,
whoa, hold on, that's a new term to me, bud.
Well, it's kind of, they're still like the anarcho-syndicalism is a lot of like the same. It's got communist aspects in it, right? But it's still very much based. I mean, they consider the non-aggression principle as one of their principles, right? Like, so it's one of those things though that they believe though that like here's my thing. That's why I've looked more into just going like, look, dude, I'm a black flag fucking anarchist.
You said black fag.
I did almost say black fag. I almost did.
Hey, I don't get to do that to you too often.
No,
so.
you didn't. You got me. I wasn't even gonna. I couldn't fucking hate because I saw myself do it.
Zach almost.
When I said it, I almost fucking winced and stopped just to go. God damn it! You know.
Anyway, black flag. Go on.
But yeah, no. I mean, like the reason that I've almost just went to like black flag is because I'm like, look, man, like I don't want to associate myself necessarily with any fucking form of economics, because of the fact that like ultimately, look, dude, as long as it's voluntary, as long as it's fucking, as long as nobody's forced into it, right? As long as there's not the threat of violence, if you don't submit to this fucking type of fucking, economy, then fucking I don't see a problem with it, right? And so a lot of I think a lot of the people, and I think a lot of the things that people get wrong with the anarcho-communist people is, I think there's something that like a lot of these guys, for the most part, believe that people will naturally communize. You know what I mean? Like they naturally become a community where they share things. They naturally,
quote, socialism.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. But what I'm getting at is, for the most part, like I think those guys are misguided. But I think that the perception of them is also somewhat misguided, right? Like and what I'm saying is that there's a little bit of fault on both sides. I think that. Because I wouldn't deny that. I mean, look, you consider it this way, right? Anybody that's talked about like, hey, look, man, I'm gonna go fucking form my own little compound, my little fucking own anarchist fucking compound, and we'll fucking take care of shit that way because I'm, fuck the state. I'm not doing this.
Sure.
Well, technically, like when they start those little compounds, they're talking about fucking socialism. But it's voluntary socialism. They're talking about fucking socially.
You can't handle the truth.
Everybody is fucking contributing. We all take care of the fucking gardens. We all do this or whatnot, right? Like, but it's voluntary, which makes all the difference in the world, right? And that's kind of my thing with it. Like,
in any of those communities, you don't pull your weight, you're fucking out of there.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying though. Like, but it would still be considered socialistic, right? Like, it's not a fucking. Now, yes, absolutely. If you don't pull your weight, you're fucking out, right? But that doesn't make it any less socialism. Like, it's all saying, like, hey, we all contribute and we all should be okay and we all should live. Now, if what you're doing is that, hey, you do your job plus you do another thing that makes you more money, people shouldn't be able to know, and that's what I'm saying. But now people shouldn't be able to take your money from that. Like, hey, I do this, but I also, I'm in charge of the gardens. Okay, well, but I also decided to do some graphic design stuff. All right. So let's say I make money off the graphic design stuff. Hey, listen, my job within the community is not to fucking do fucking graphic design. So what I make off of graphic design is my own fucking thing, right? This isn't for the betterment of y'all. This is for the betterment of me.
I'm not pulling Zach says basically, I'm not pulling tomatoes because I fucking hate tomatoes, but I offered this other service that I'm good at, that I'm contributing to the fucking community. So
exactly.
That's what I mean. Like, for me personally, like I honestly, like, that's where I think that I would thrive inside of like inside of a couple hundred people or a couple thousand people.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I got to be honest with you. I think that that's the thing that we look at, like, all right, like I do believe that one of the problems that we're having right within society right now is this like weird fucking tribalism that's happening. But I also believe that there's a certain fucking amount of tribalism that fucking people are destined to have, and we should have, right? That's like productive because.
But it's subsecting itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not the growth of the greater good within a community. It's subsecting itself until
we're trying to produce the greater good for 3 billion fucking people, and that can't fucking happen. You know?
Right. Well, I'm saying is that everything's been subjugated down to fucking a point where it's like you might, out of a community, if you say you've got a community of 3,000 people are so subsected at this point that you might only have a fucking real 100% direct correlation and maybe 3 to 4 other fucking families within those 3,000 people. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where you don't have an argument amongst you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we have a problem with, like, it's something that happened, and I don't think many people would argue it, actually, against it. You have so many people saying that we're overpopulated, right? I don't believe that's the fucking case. You can go look at like tons of space throughout the fucking world that are unoccupied, right?
Fucking live in the desert. Like, what's that Sam Kinison? It's sand.
Yeah, but there's places in fucking Nebraska. But there's places all over fucking Nebraska that nobody fucking lives in. There's places all over fucking, you know what I mean? And Nebraska's not a goddamn desert. You know what I'm saying?
But it's still a shithole, you know?
But it's only a shithole because nobody's there, right? But it's one of those things that, like, you can say. I mean, now even then we could make the argument that fucking government land
I'm like,
takes up
you,
a
I
lot
like
of there's
you know,
yeah, but there's a lot of places within fucking that are owned by the government too, that's land that people could fucking occupy, that the government fucking owns and claims as its own fucking reserve, which is odd as fuck.
Saying there's a lot of those types of areas too where it would not be beneficial to start a community like the one that we are advocating for. You understand what I mean?
No, absolutely. I would agree with that.
It's not an opportune geographical landscape either.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I tend to believe that there's like, look, like the fucking human species can pretty much, I believe, fucking make it anywhere through anything, anyhow. Like I really do.
Tell me, as soon as I sell this fucking house, whenever I sell it, I'm like, no. I don't care what it costs. I want to be away from fucking people. I'm tired of this. Like, I have no need for it. I love my wife. I love my family, and we're going to be fine. Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I am absolutely disgusted with society. I don't want to be around us anymore. And I say us because I realize that I am a part of society, right?
Right. I'm just saying, I'll be fine. Just leave me the fuck alone. Get out of my face.
I can deal with myself, but I hate all of you, and I can't deal with all of you. I can only deal with me. You know what I mean? Like, I can't fucking make you guys change. I can only make me change. So as far as like me being disgusted with with the human race, like I'm gonna stick to the little part of the human race that I can control.
Let me just have my fucking little slice of the pie, and the rest of you, look, I'll be okay.
The rest of you fucking get a different plate. You know what I mean?
110%, bro. 110%. Like, I don't need this in my life. I'm good. Like, just fucking get the fuck.
But even then, I am somebody who thoroughly enjoys conversations with people that are from like walks of life that I don't experience, right? Like and so I would be that guy that has my own little part of town, but comes into town all the time to fucking associate with the fucking people that, you know what I mean?
I just don't want it in my face right when I walk out my fucking doorstep. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's me. Like, well, I don't want.
I mean, like, I don't want to fucking live in a place where people are telling me that fucking like I've got to like reestablish what I fucking, you know, like, oh, that's a girl now. And I'm like, well, it's not a girl, dude. That's not. Come on, man.
What's up, dude?
Like, yeah, like that's a guy, dude. Like, it's a fucking guy. Like, why are you making me do this? This is stupid, right? Like,
dude.
Yeah, but to the same thing that Jordan Peterson said, right? Like when they're like, well, yeah, so you're refusing to call somebody by the pronoun they want. No, I'm not. Like on a personal level, if the guy was like, hey, I prefer to be called a she, I'll fucking call you a she all goddamn day. I don't give a fuck. But don't start telling me that like this is just the way the world works, because it's not. Like you're
10%.
Like, I'm not gonna start saying that XX chromosome and XY chromosome are fucking the same thing if you decide so.
I'm
the
not
way it
conforming
works.
to this society. Like I feel like I'm an old ass man in that regard already. You know what I mean?
Which is fucking stupid. Like I'm 34 years old. I should not feel old.
Exactly. I'm 33 years old and I go, you know what, man? No, sorry, you're never gonna change my fucking mind on this. Like, this is something that's some new age fucking bullshit that, like, you know, whatever. Like, you might as well be talking to my grandparents about the fucking hippies and the crystals and fucking the healing powers and new age shit at this point.
Hey, listen, dude, we're all old enough now that we've watched those fucking episodes on Maury Povich where they were having or maybe it was Jerry Springer. It was one of those guys, man. When they had the no, but when they had the fucking they had the trannies and the women like stand together in line, and you were supposed to pick which one was right.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, dude, we've all been wrong on those once or twice. All right, like. So I'm not denying that there are fucking women out there or men that decide to be fucking trannies that fucking aren't completely fucking like, hey, dude, you wouldn't be able to tell. But listen, when you start saying that it's fucking legally fucking a different thing, or that you're a terrible fucking person because this fat man that's fucking like, you know, he's 6'8" and he's fat as fucking hairy, and like now he's supposed to be a woman. Like, that's not true, dude. Like, I can't. You're asking me to deny reality, and it's just not fair. Like, what am I supposed to fucking do? Like, you can't be mad at me because my eyes see the regular world.
I am so tired of that. It's not fair. I know you just said that, but that's a microaggression to me.
No, but I mean, it's not fair in the reality sense. It's not fair that I have to deny reality. That's what I mean. Yeah.
No, but I just have to tell you right quick that I'm very triggered about that lately. Is that the not fair fucking thing? Because so many people have said it's not fair, and I'm like, fucking nobody knows better than me and a lot of different people out there that fucking it really is. It might sound cliche or whatever, but it's like life is not fucking fair.
No, it's not. My thing is though is that like I consider everything that happens naturally throughout life
you're not
to be fair.
To be fair game. Absolutely. You're not considered that that anything is supposed to be fair.
No, but
that you overcome or you do what you have to do. Not that it's fair. There's plenty
to me, I consider the things that happen. I consider the things that happen fucking naturally through nature. I consider those to be fair. And now the reason, let me explain why I think that's the case, right? Like the things that happen naturally, like that gazelle's fucking leg is broken. And the fucking lion eats that motherfucker. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, no, I consider that to be fair because it works within the natural fucking rules of reality, right? Like, so when I say something's not fair, I'm like, no, it's not fair because fucking like, that's not true, really, is what I guess what I'm really saying. Like, right? Like, it's like, no, this is reality. And in reality, like, that is a man right there. That's a man. Like, I'm not saying that fucking like he can't go around dressed in a fucking skirt. I don't have a problem with that. Dude, the motherfucker can wear whatever he wants to. But don't ask me to deny reality. It's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then act like I'm a dick because of it.
And we're going to hit our final break here in just a second. But I'll tell you what has been what I've really appreciated as of late is that Shapiro has started to do Sunday night interviews that are about an hour long. There's one with Joe Rogan.
I watched the one with Rogan. Yeah.
I also went back earlier this week and watched the one with Jordan Peterson.
Oh, dude, I wanted to. I started it actually. I watched like the first like 2 minutes of it, and then fucking had to get involved in other shit.
I'm telling you, watch it because you really have to pay attention to it. You really, you're smart enough to know what's going on, but I'm telling you, some of that stuff was a stretch for me where I'm like, where are they going? And I didn't know all of the people that they were referencing either in their books, but I got the gist of what they were conveying through their discussion because they did a good job of explaining it.
They're two fucking extremely intelligent men, dude. Like, really.
But, boy, that shit, like, man, I mean, I knew, like, Peterson was a smart dude or whatever, but, like, that whole 12 rules of life.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, dude.
That stuff where it was like, you're really explaining to people on a psychological level, like, why they're not happy. I might actually buy that book.
Oh, yeah, no, I've got it in the living room. It's, I'm telling you right now, like, no, dude. Yeah, dude, the guy, I mean, no, it's amazing. I mean, look, dude, there's not a lot of people that, like, I've never even bought a self-help book in my entire life. And I would go as far as to say this isn't really a self-help book as much as it is a psychological fucking book.
Explaining what you already know and palatable to better benefit your life is what
I'll say this, like it's probably a book that has the best understanding of what it is to be a fucking man, like in any other, like I really, dude, I have so much respect for Jordan Peterson that I can't even fucking tell you. Like the guy is just like, dude, I've watched his lectures like hours on end, right? Like,
right. And I'm telling you, go fucking watch that Ben Shapiro fucking Jordan Peterson interview. Fucking as soon as you possibly can. You, Zach, and everybody else out there. Yeah. Watch that because, like I said, I don't understand because I haven't read the books by some of the people that they reference in that. but I get the overall gist of what they're trying to convey. And you do have to have your wits about you. It is definitely something that you can't passively fucking listen to as a podcast. You really have to be engaged with it, you know, to get the gist of what they are fucking saying and doing. And it lets you know how much of a higher power, whatever that is in your life, having a higher power means in your life, whatever you perceive that as. And you know, leftist take on this and philosophical take on that, you know, it's just a very, very good hour-long sit down that I think everybody should check out, because it's something that I've learned a lot from just over the past week, you know, as far as anything of actual educational intellect and learning. I probably learned more from that one thing that I listened to for an hour.
No, I would say, like, I mean, and especially to you, but everybody that's listening as well. Like, I mean, for somebody that listens to podcasts in their, you know, in their car and at work and things like that, I think that it's one of those things that, like, look, dude, I think that listening to lectures of Peterson and things like that, like, if you want to improve your life, and that's not men specific, like, it really isn't. Like, now, I think that there's one of those things that it hits men at, it hits men at home.
Right.
Yeah, it hits men at home because of the fact that, like, no, I do believe between men and women in our current society, I think that men have the biggest problem as far as, like, trying to adapt to the society that we're in.
Absolutely.
And
110%.
so, yeah, and so I think that it helps them more to the degree that they are more challenged at this moment than fucking women are. And not to downgrade any, you know, obviously women are going through their own challenges and things like that, but I'd say that this is probably the most demasculating time in our fucking history when you look at it. Like, I mean, they even have, you know, words like
myself, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, you have this whole, like, fucking terms of toxic fucking masculinity, things like that are, like, just baffling, like, as to where we've, you know, I mean, it was really cool. Like, we'll go into it after break. I'm not gonna, you know, I realize we're hitting break here real quick, but I mean, like, even then, like, I'm working with the lipstick lesbian, right, at work all the time, and it's funny because, like, talking to somebody who, like, no, I mean, she took off early on Saturday to go to the Pride Parade in Houston, right? Like, but very much so, like, she's been one of the biggest advocates for me at work. Like, I mean, like, you know, like, whereas, like, I was hired on as a helper, and as she's leaving, you know, my boss is like, oh, well, he's a helper, so we're going to move him up to the front. And she was like, no, he's more than capable of doing what he needs to do back there. What, you know, he can do that without, he doesn't need somebody there. He's just fine, right? And, like, things like that, though, when we have conversations like this, like, of, like, hey, masculinity and femininity, and she will even make the argument of, like, listen, like,
mutual respect is what we're talking about.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that that's one of the things, too, is that she's realized that, like, it's been cool fucking working with her because it's somebody who's such a different walk of life, but us through discussion, like, and things like that, and my just common fucking decency to her, right? Like, that it has been a, like,
that's really
second, you know?
You want to know the binding fucking deal with a lot of that is that truly is the hand across the bridge, is that human interaction, whether it be in the workplace, if it's allowed at this point in juncture, or just in your everyday life. You know what I mean? Like, I've got a great friend of mine, you know, his wife's a school teacher. I love them both immensely. Like she's a left-leaning person that is a very cerebral person that I just love having conversations with her. She's just as much my friend as her husband, who is, you know, my dude, you know. And you know, they couldn't be more separate on political landscapes, though, honestly. And it's interesting to witness, but it's also like those
personal interactions, like I said, whether it happens in a private setting or in a workplace setting, if it's allowed to happen, guess what that is? Progression. For all you
real progression.
For all you fucking quote unquote progressives out there, you fucking allow people with differing perceptions into your fucking landscape. It's amazing how much you might learn, grow, and actually understand the quote unquote other side of the aisle, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No,
within a non fucking violent, non verbally confrontive or combative landscape, you can understand these people, where they come from, and actually it's not this online culture that we're used to where it's like fuck you, back and forth. Well, this point, and then you go this point. Well, that's full of shit. No, we're talking about an actual perceptive reality to where both parties actually get to understand a little bit more into the insight of the other fucking person. But you know where that falls short nowadays? Because everybody's
those conversations aren't allowed to happen. Yeah.
Not only that, it's not allowed to happen in a workplace. It's not allowed to happen at family reunions. But if you fucking have mutual respect for people, it is allowed to happen drunk around a campfire in a fucking personal landscape. You know, it is allowed to happen if you have mutual respect for people and are actually face to face with somebody. This would never happen online. I'm sorry. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
No, I mean, dude, there's like it's funny, like to the degree like we're friends enough now that like we make fun of each other type of deal, right? And it's funny because it's like, no, I mean, like there's a guy at work that's talking about like one of his like fucking teenage fucking sex fucking stories, right? And then fucking he turns around to her and he's like, so what, you got some stories, right? And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like there's any interesting fucking story you could make out of scissoring, right? Like get the, and, you know, and she's like, oh, fuck you, you know? And it's one of those things though, where it's like, yeah, no, it really is. Like it's fun to be able to, at that point, like you understand where each other stand and you realize that neither one of you mean anything by it. And you can make fun of the most sensitive moments you want to. Because people are like, I realize who he is.
Not only does that draw you closer to people that you might not usually get along with as people, but it also is a direct, personal understanding of people, and something that we haven't brought up in quite a long time, but happens to be a great anchor of this show, which is stop taking your fucking lives and yourselves so goddamn seriously. Yeah. Stop it. Life is a lot less serious than what we've made it out to be. Yeah. Hey, take care of your fucking business and your family and your kids. Take care of your business and have as much fun as humanly fucking possible.
Yeah, man. You're a flash in the fucking pan, dude. You're
That's it.
Yeah, you're here and gone. Enjoy yourself.
All right, we'll be back in a couple minutes. I'm broken. So are you. We'll be back.
I wonder what's my wanted to write this note to all my opposition, to say thank you from the pit of my soul for your caustic inspiration. My methods may mean nothing to you as you question my dedication, but to wear my life upon my sleeve is the source of my salvation. I'm telling you, it's all enough and that me embraces like a fire as I burn. I give myself to all of you no matter what you say or do, but I'm expecting nothing in return. Can't stress me off, Brittany, you can choose to love or hate me better from the know I got something to say. You messing in and spit me how you pick me up and nothing that no matter what I'll always be the bride. I'm exposed, I don't know why. So much the X of me steps on into my eye, bare my soul, transparent light. So much the X on me steps into my side. I just wanna say these words to those who give respect. Lessons on my eyes, tear down the walls and break some fucking neck. I'll put the fight every day. I wanna be there till my weapon till I'm done. It's my share of blood. This little gets a little old, a little later, so it's all harder, but I'm not the only one. Feeling you're reaching to be the witness, but I'm with the secret about the men and never been a son. We live to die, all but one thing on each other, carry on my mental bit until the damn day. I'm exposed, I don't know why. So much the X of me steps on into my eye, bare my soul, transparent light. So much the X on me steps into my side. Say what you want, write what you want, but we stand proud on this stage. We're built to march, we're built to slam, we're built to fucking rage. Born and bred a metalhead, and that's the end of this. And if you've got a problem, sorry, but I don't give a shit. I'm exposed, I don't know why. So much the X of me steps on into my eye, bare my soul, transparent light. So much the X on me steps into my side. Fuck the X, fuck the X, fuck the X, fuck the X. Every man do I die, every man do I die, every man do I die, every man do I die.
That's the shit, dude.
That was so fucking hardcore that you fucking thought it was over and it still smacked you in the face. That was beautiful.
Dude. By the way, like past couple days, I've revisited a good bit of that Hell Yeah shit, and dude, it fucking holds up, man. They've got some fucking killer tunes, and I love, like, I got into a discussion with some people over the past like 2 days about this, and I'm like, dude, like Mudvayne LD50 is my favorite album of all time.
Yeah, I don't think that's even like, look, dude, here's my thing. My favorite album is actually fucking Slipknot fucking Iowa, but LD50 is right there with it. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And really I think fucking Iowa holds as my top more for sentimental value.
Yes.
Than it does for just quality, right? Like, I think LD was just talent and fucking quality wise is amazing.
By the way, that was that record is produced by Clown from Slipknot too, by the Sean Cran. But I posted. You probably didn't see it because it was on Facebook, but I posted the make me choose between two bands, and I think I posted that Friday, and I'm still just getting a flood of stuff coming in on that post.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine that I know personally lives here in Orlando commented and said, Slipknot or Mudvayne. And I said, you got me. I said,
it's hard, dude.
I said, this is one I am not going. I said, I told you, it was make me choose between two bands. And that was the first one. I was like, not going to do it. Not going to do it. I said, Slipknot's first album changed my life.
Yeah, dude.
It was, and I've told the story before, but on air. But like that album and the set of circumstances that I was in my life, at 14 when that came out, I was 14, and I said that album changed my life. But LD50 is my favorite album of all time through and through, like from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean.
I can't say that about Slipknot's self-entitled record. It's just there's a few songs where
Iowa. I remember hearing People Equal Shit and being like, "Oh my fucking god," and then it just kicking off and listening to the rest of the album and being like, "Oh my, this is
I
it."
wish we could play just a fucking handful of sound, just to have context. I wish we had time to do all that tonight, but. Yeah. You guys know, if you're listening to this fucking show, you already fucking know, man.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, the Heretic Anthem. Well, if you're 555, then I'm 666. Dude, the motherfucker just.
You know what happened? Here's something that's like, okay, so nowadays we get drops from songs before the album actually drops, right? Okay, the Ozfest soundtrack from 2001 is probably one of my favorite quote unquote live albums of all time. Is Ozfest 2001.
Yeah.
And the Slipknot track on that was the Heretic Anthem. And that was before they went on Conan. That was before the Iowa album was released. That was the only song that was let out of the gates before the actual album was released. So I heard it on Conan and first the 2001 Ozfest soundtrack before that album ever got released, and I was just like, holy shit, dude, that fucking Heretic Anthem is something else, man. But that's my Slipknot.
No, I mean, and then my next, I've got like, dude, Spit It Out, which wasn't on Iowa, but
yeah,
like that's still one of my fucking like. There's something about his first little fucking. Did you ever give a damn in the first place? Maybe it's time when the tables turn. Because in the interest of all, I got the problem solved. And the verdict just killed me.
You man, kill me. Yeah,
dude, that motherfucker just goes off, and I'm like, oh my god, I think he just did like my favorite thing of metal and rap all in the same time. Like
you know what? That was the.
I don't even know how to like. I mean, really, like I heard it and didn't know how to feel about it because I just thought it was so fucking amazing. You
want to talk about what really like the death of Limp Bizkit was? Spit It Out. Spit It Out killed fucking Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, because it was like dude, this is the hardcore you're trying to be.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, like, this is the hardcore you wish you were.
Here's how it's really done, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But by the way, like, Wes Borland is still like he's up on my.
He's still a god. Yeah.
Wes Borland is.
No, actually, to tell you the truth,
how a lot of people view Tom Morello. I hold Wes Borland in that same regard.
Oh yeah, no, I do too. And actually, man, there's some little fucking corny rapper. I don't know who he is. I don't know what his name is. I could try and look it up, but I don't even know a good enough reference to look him up. But that my stepdaughter has like this crush on this little fucking little fucking pale white fucking bowl cut fucking dude who wears black contacts. All right. And I was like, listen, I don't need this little, and I was like, I don't need this little half-ass Wes Borland fucking wannabe. You know what I mean? And fucking, she's like, who? And fucking Sam just starts laughing. Sam's like, oh. And I was like, look, dude, like this guy's just trying to be my generation. I don't need these wannabe me ass niggas around here.
That's the other thing is like that whole frame of reference, Donnie, right? Is completely out the fucking window with these kids nowadays. Like I had
So you have no frame of reference here.
I had a fucking knowledge of what came before. You know, I knew when Marilyn Manson came out, I knew that was like, I was like, oh, like Kiss, you know what I mean? Like I had that frame of reference there. You know, I'm like, yeah, it's 20 years later, but like this is like a Kiss type thing, you know, what they were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like our kids have no fucking frame of reference when it comes to that shit, where it's like half a fucking West Borland, you know, like you and I know exactly what the fuck that means. And if they were to say that shit, if my dad were to say, oh, like a half-ass fucking Gene Simmons, I would fucking get the reference immediately. Our kids don't even know what the fuck that means. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's lost.
Yeah, it's just totally lost upon them. You know, and I guess that's the biggest part is like that we've got the wealth of human knowledge in our pockets at any given point.
Yeah, we use it to be fucking retarded. Like, it really is.
Where it's like, look, man, you know, I've told this story too before on air. Like, I get mad that I don't get those calls anymore from my friends that was like, hey, Trip, what was that song? Like, I was the guy to call, you know?
Yeah.
Needed some trivial fucking bullshit knowledge that unless I'm on
I got that. Yeah.
Will never fucking do me any good as far as making money unless I'm on a game show. Like I'm that guy to go to, dude. You can fucking ask me whatever you want to about that kind of shit, and I'll fucking give you a straight up answer. I used to get those calls since everybody started to have a fucking, you know, a whole internet thing that was actually, you know, more convenient than getting on your computer. Since that time,
yeah,
I've become obsolete. I'm a relic from a former era. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't even fucking exist anymore. Yeah. What do we fucking need you for, Trip? Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, I wanted to be Angus Young when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my whole gimmick. You know, like that's what I wanted out of life.
Yeah. No, I mean, like
dreamer, motherfucker. You know, where's the fucking dreamers? No,
dude, I got my girl bought me the fucking the Game of Thrones fucking I drink and I know things shirt, right? Like
Right.
that's because it's pretty much that's my thing, right?
It's awesome.
But it's fucking crazy to me at this point that it's not cool to know shit anymore. Like it's not.
I don't know that shit, man.
Yeah, right, dude. God damn, can we play fucking Chris Rock, man?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. But keep talking.
Yeah, no, that needs to be brought up. Like it really is. Like it's one of those things that it's not. Look, dude, this is one of those things that one of the references that I can fucking say. Like honestly, I believe that this is one of the reasons why you can say that fucking like racial diversity and things like that are cool, but racism in its core is fucking completely fucking misleading, or those people that are racist are completely misled because it happens to all people in society, right? And because of the fact that you can look at like Chris Rock's fucking breakdown of the difference between black people and niggas, right?
I've got just a quick less than a minute gimmick on it. The rest of them are like 6 minutes long, so
yeah, definitely.
We'll just play this.
Nothing make a nigga happier than not knowing the answer to your question. Just ask a nigga a question. Any nigga. Hey, nigga, what's the capital of Zaire? I don't know that shit. Keeping it real. Niggas love to keep it real. Real dumb.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nothing make a nigga happier than not knowing the answer to your question, you know?
No, and that's really what it is, though, is that fucking where Chris Rock is talking about the difference between fucking, you know,
we're
black
not
folks
talking
and
about
fucking
black people here. We're talking about our white trash to us, you know? Like,
yeah, and that's exactly what I mean, is that's why it's a fucking deal, is because of the fact that people don't realize that, like, no, dude, those are, like, yes, those people exist, right, where you could be like black folks and niggas and whatever, but when it comes down to it, like, no, that's the difference between fucking human beings and stupid fucks. And that really is what it comes down to at this point. Like, that we are now surrounded by stupid fucking
But that's
people.
what I mean. Like, we're the transcendence of those people, though. You know what? You understand what I'm saying, though? Like not every, and you know, you might have come from.
But I mean, really though, that's not the case. We are just the fucking at this point, we're just simply the anomaly of those fucking people, because those people are common fucking place. Those are the regular people. Like, look, dude, we will always be looked at, or at least fucking within today's society, we'll be looked at as the people that fucking exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, and when it really comes down to it, is like, no, we're the survivors and the fucking people that don't take ourselves that seriously. The people that, like, no, look, dude, we're just enjoying ourselves. Like, I don't see the reason why I should fucking be so fucked up about that. It doesn't make any sense.
We are the intellectual winners of the fucking white people Darwin Awards, essentially. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I mean, it really is crazy to me, because I don't look at myself as that fucking intelligent until I'm around a bunch of fucking people.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm like, oh, wait, fuck, dude, I guess I am. I just don't.
I
don't see my intelligence as being like the exception to the rule until I'm around everybody, and then I'm like, oh fuck.
I'll tell you how I put it. Is that of the people that win on that intellectual battle, on that, you know, however we are, I am of the redneck class, lower echelon of, you know, the rest of the fucking, you know, the doctors and the neuroscientists and these people that are very cerebral, you know. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I've got that tinge of white trash, but I made it. I made it out of the white trash catalog. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I mean, to me, I look at it.
Like, I wasn't supposed to make it, but guess what? I fucking made it, man.
I did it.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, to me, listen, dude, if you put me next to your regular average citizen of today, I'm not that fucking, or I am, I'm like a goddamn genius, right? But if you put me next to, like, the geniuses of fucking history, I'm not that fucking special.
No, absolutely.
And that's what I mean by it, is that, like,
we're just happy that we went, holy shit, we weren't supposed to make it out of our category of people, but we did. You know what I mean? That's how Zach and I fucking play it, and I'm sure you guys are fucking right with us. Anybody out there listening is probably right there. Like, I was supposed to be fucking white trash, and I just made it past the fucking mark, and it was just cerebral enough to fucking get it, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I even right, like, I shouldn't even be. I didn't even think that I would make it, right? Like, I didn't think that I would make it at all. Like, I didn't think that I thought that I was just gonna fucking die out. And I mean, still at this point, right? Like, at this point, I still as far as family history goes, I've only got about another 8 years left in me anyway. But but it's one of those things that I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I just don't understand where we've just decided that it doesn't matter to know shit. And like my oldest stepdaughter, she's fucking great, dude. She's an amazing little kid. And honestly, I see myself in her. I realize that, like, dude, I didn't want to know things when I was her age. And it's not, but like, where I'm trying to tell her something and she's like, why do I need to know that? And I'm like, what do you mean, why do you need to know that? Are you fucking kidding me? And like, and it fucks me up. But I try and judge her on that, and then I go, no, dude, when I was 14, I would have said the same fucking thing. I would have been like, why is that fucking important, right?
But I wasn't like that. But
then at 17, I was like, oh, fuck, dude, I do need to know that. Like, I am very much somebody who had to learn from his own fucking mistakes.
Yeah,
like, I absolutely
I'm saying that, like, and I trust me, I have this argument because each of our children are different in these aspects, you know? So it's like, fuck, I really get this aspect of this child of ours, but I really wish this different child of ours would get the fucking grip on what that means. Like,
I mean, really, my thing with like I said, my biggest fucking
hang up.
My biggest hang up with her is that she's very much like I was. Now she's not biologically my kid, so that shouldn't even be the case. Like, yeah, but I mean that shouldn't even be the case that I like that she has aspects of me in her to that degree, right? But I understand I understand where she's coming from with it, and very much so. I was that way. Like, to me, I was very much like, what do you mean? Like, I don't fucking care. Why do I don't need to know what the fuck is going on in Afghanistan. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't fucking matter to me. Why do I care?
Tell me if you weren't like that, just to validate my own fucking horse shit, I guess, at the end of the day. But, like, do you feel... do you understand? I guess I should say, do you understand what I'm saying? Where I was like, I was concerned with those things, but I still had a fuck you mentality.
I understand. No, I mean, I understand what you mean.
I was concerned about those things at the same time.
No, but I mean, but seriously,
I understand that my life and how I was, even as a adolescent, was very much against the grain.
No, I mean, here's the thing. Like, what I mean is that, like, no, Zach of that age would have told you to go fucking read a book if that's what you want to do, but I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to go do that, then go read a fucking book, dude, but I don't give a fuck. I don't want to talk about that bullshit. And, like...
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Like, so
I understand what you mean. I wasn't like that. Like,
no, and absolutely, like, listen, now Zach would have told you that, and then went and read his own book that I gave a fuck about at the time.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
I would springboard that into my, like, hey, this was an important conversation. I might want to read up on this. You know what I mean?
Like, absolutely. And that's what I mean is that, like, no, look, I like knowing things, but I liked knowing things to fucking be better than the guy next to me.
But what I'm saying is, like, that's right quick.
Yeah.
But that's where books like the 1984s and shit came into fucking play for us, though.
But I didn't read 1984 until I was like fucking 22 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so to me, it was very much of like look, dude, if you want to be involved with that, be involved with that. But I don't really fucking care. I'm gonna deal with things that affect me directly right here. And so I understand it because I still have friends of mine that are very much that way, right? Like, I'm going to deal with the things that are directly fucking involving what I'm dealing with right now, right?
I understand completely what you're saying because I'm doing it right now, just in the opposite fashion.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, nope, sorry, don't got time for it anymore. You know, like I spent the majority of my adolescence and adulthood fucking immersed into this shit, and sorry.
Yeah. It was the opposite. Yeah. Like, I just started getting involved in all of that shit later in my life and I don't necessarily know.
You get shit.
You do. And I don't know. I don't know which way would be the best way to attack it, right? Like, I don't know where the best way to come from it would be because I don't think that there is a good way. I don't think that there's...
Right.
I think that there are just ways, right? Like, I think...
Right. But how is that way beneficial or unbeneficial in the life that you're living now? You know where you come from.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, when I was young...
You know,
my fucking life was fucking, hey, like, fucking have fun, fuck bitches. You know what I mean? Like, that's what my life was.
I wish I had more of that mentality because I could have got on a lot better than I did.
Yeah, no, and very much so. Like, very much so.
The Tripster fucking put up all right numbers, is all I'm saying.
I mean, listen, Zach existed to... Like, listen, Zach at that age, I existed to throw up numbers. That's what I existed for. That's what I did. Like,
exactly. Like, I wish I had better numbers to report for what I know now, as opposed to what my life was back then. I still took my life way too seriously back then, you know. Yeah. So I would have been like, fucking girlfriend. Like, it was the safe thing, and that's helped me out in the business world. Not necessarily help me out in my personal relationship world, you know, up until now, of course. But where it's like that, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't really want to be with this girl anymore, and she's pissing me off, and she's naggy or whatever. But it's like, I know she's horny, and I can fuck all the time. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Yeah, with me was like, I mean, honestly, I gotta tell you, like, I was absolutely that guy that, like, no, dude, look, until I was like
I'm not trying to
fucking,
put up numbers. I'm trying to fuck every other day. You understand what I'm
yeah,
saying?
no, dude, till I was like 26 years old, I wasn't trying to even fucking, like, look, dude, my deal, and I'd say 26 years old, look, by 26 years old, I had been married for 5 fucking years, all right? Like,
Right.
that's where we have the fucking difference in who we are, is that, like, I don't even fucking, like, listen, my ex-wife's a bitch, but
You were getting married about the time my chains broke loose from my fucking high school relationships.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying, like, and now, like, look, dude, me and my ex-wife both know, we've had a discussion, like, we both know I got married because of the fact that my mother died, right? Like, I got married because I fucking had to snag that down. I had to snag down some semblance of home. All right.
Sure.
And
sure.
so I was
Okay.
with her when my mom died. So it was like, hey, you marry me and you come out here. Right.
I don't think you ever put it like that before, man. But that's a very fucking interesting take.
Yeah.
Man.
To me, it was like, no, my mom died, and it was like, hey, dude, I was with you before my mom died. I was with you while my mom died, and like, fucking, I don't want to lose.
Here, right?
Yeah. I don't want to lose everything that I know about me. Right. Like, and so like, fucking marry me. You know,
and start fresh is a fucking thing, man. It's
fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it's terrifying. As a young man, late teens, early 20s, it's a fucking terrifying thing.
Well, and I had already experienced so much of the complete fresh thing that, like,
and
I had already moved away, was in the military, and just had finished basic training, and was like halfway through tech school. They made me start tech school over with because I went AWOL, right? And like, so when I came back, they didn't have a class that was at the point that I was at. So it was like, well, you got to start over. Like, yeah, we know you've done this, but where else can we put? We're going to give you a one-man class, right? Like, so, yeah. So like, I go to start over and shit, and so, but still at this point, I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm meeting bitches from all over the United States now, right? Like, so I'm like. No, so I was like, fucking, I'd like to fuck a chick from Michigan. I've never fucked a chick from Michigan before. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
What do you Michigan bitches like?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then it's like, you're from Rhode Island? Well, I've never even met somebody from Rhode Island. Let's see what this is like. You know what I mean? And
the state is 50 miles wide. I have no idea.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck, your state is the size of my city. Let's fucking figure this one out. You know what I mean? And so it was. Yeah, you know what I mean? And so, no, it did. It came to the point to where I was like, well, and like, look, dude, I used to have the fucking, like, no doubt, like, regardless, I'm a slick son of a bitch anyway, all right? And I realized that, all right?
Yeah, we can smell our own.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you start having, like, no, I'm slick as fuck, but here's the deal. I could go lay my uniform in a bar and it would get fucking laid, right? Like, I don't even have to be there. I can just put my uniform there, and I got to go pick that motherfucker up from a bitch's house because she's going to take it home. Like, that's just already going to happen. So when you come into a world where you're like, no, I'm a fucking pimp without saying shit, right? Like, I don't even have to talk, and I'm a pimp. So I can own this motherfucker, right? And so you start doing that kind of shit where you get engulfed in that whole fucking life, and you're like, no, listen, dude, I fucking shoot at motherfuckers, I fix fucking cars, and I fucking make money, and that's just what I do, right? And then you know, I mean, and to say, like, dude, ultimately
we're not worthy, we're not worthy, we're stuck, we suck.
Kiss the rings, bitch.
No, I mean, for my ex-wife, dude, like, I never have, I've never been one to be like, no, I was a good husband. I wasn't. It was a bad husband.
That's,
you know?
like, I got that hang up about my dad too, man. Like, you know, my dad too is like, dude, he doesn't live with his wife legally, but they still work together from time to time and hang out and do their thing, however that works for them, right? But my dad lives in his own apartment. They don't live together, but they're still married, and they fucking still work together and hang out and do their thing.
No, I won't change that fucking the way that she fucked me afterwards. Like, she's way bigger of a cunt than I am. Like, that's not a fucking thing, right? Like, nothing that I did to her. I just want to switch that up real quick so that everybody knows that. Like, nothing that I did to her even like equals or even fucking comes near the amount of fucking cuntdom that she fucking owns, right?
Hey, bitches will always up the fucking ante, won't they? Where it's
it's like yeah.
They're like, hey, by the way, you know,
yeah, you pinched me, I'll chop your hand off, that kind of shit.
If you get to a point of calmness as a dude where you go, this bitch left me and she's probably fucking this other guy right now, and if you can get past that point and you can go like, hey, can we not up the ante here? Like, I'm cool with whatever, but
I mean, like, hey, can we be done with this? Like,
right. Can we work this out on this lower level? Right?
Yeah, like, like, it's one of those things where you're like, all right, listen, we got to call a truce because I don't have any other avenue besides just all-out fucking war, and so I don't know where you want to.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Listen, I told many motherfuckers before you came along.
Yeah.
Don't get me to this level. Don't put me on this level.
Listen, like, well, that's what fucked me up, right? Is like, I'm like, no, listen, I can survive all of this. I don't think you can, and I'm trying to fucking, I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd. I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd, Ringo. You know what I mean? Like, that's really where it comes in. Is that like
pulled that fucking drop? By the way, all right, I'm writing it down right now. Where's my fucking notepad?
Yeah, there's no reason why we don't have that.
Trying real hard to be the shepherd, Ringo. Like. That's a 4-second drop that'll be fine. All right, we're good.
A 4-second drop that we've said like probably like 15 times in the past 3 shows. Yeah.
So just try to bring up is just shit that's like fucking you quote in your everyday life. You know, if it's
no. Actually, to tell you the truth, we've quoted it on this show multiple times, but I do say that in my everyday life regularly.
Exactly. No, that's why it exists on the show. It's because
I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd. Like even when, like, dude, the other day, like Sam said something about like dealing with patience because it's funny as fuck. Like I didn't understand how shitty fucking human beings are when you don't, because I don't deal with people. Like I don't deal with like regular civilians. Right? I know I say civilians, but when I mean civilians, I mean like consumers, your everyday fucking like, you know what I mean? And Sam does, and she'll be like, dude, I just don't. I'm trying real hard, and I'm like, to be the shepherd, you know what I mean? Like I get it. And she's like, God damn it, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, listen. You're not gonna find. Listen. Pulp Fiction is the answer. Pulp Fiction is the answer to all questions. You know what I mean? Like yeah.
There's a reason why we keep that fucking shit in our fucking bank of go-tos. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. You motherfucker. Dude, I still to this day, like when somebody starts getting real cocky, I go to fucking Vincent Vega's fucking "Hey, calm down, Punchy," right? Where he's talking about Bruce Willis, like I fucking I'll be like, all right, no, dude, calm down, Punchy, I don't care. And like, and it's not, he doesn't say calm down to him. It's when well, I'm a
mushroom cloud laying motherfucker.
Nah, dude. Every time my fingers touch brain, I'm the guns of the Navarone.
Right.
Nah, dude.
We'll fly TNT.
Yeah, dude. Like, there's not, dude. That entire fucking movie is just made up of full quotes. Like you can't. Yeah, dude. You can't touch another movie.
Pulp Fiction might be a better one-liner career than fucking. This might be blasphemy to some people, but like Mitch Hedberg, it's up on that level. You know?
Oh no, it is. Like no, I mean Mitch Hedberg probably fucking like bowed to that movie. That's not even like no. I think that's a guarantee. Like, look. I look at Mitch Hedberg as a god at what he did. Like, I mean, there's nobody else that could have just walked up and riffed the way that fucking Mitch Hedberg could seemingly riff. Like, I mean, like he seemed like he was just talking about shit he thought about, right?
In the pocket of like, no, I'll tell you what joke of Mitch Hedberg's solidifies exactly as a person what Mitch Hedberg is and what his comedy really is one of his one-liner jokes is I'm gonna butcher it, but He goes, sometimes I wish pen and paper were together. Like he goes, when I'm sitting in my bed in the hotel rooms, when I'm doing gigs, and I think of something funny, and I realize the pen and paper is across the room, I just have to.
He goes.
I just have to convince myself what I just
not
thought
funny.
What is not funny, you know?
Dude,
yeah.
My favorite bit of Mitch Hedberg's is when he's like, I'll never understand why it's so shitty when escalators break. He's like, I walked past the thing of escalators and it said the escalators are down. Sorry for the inconvenience. And he was like, what I thought was it should say, the escalators are now stairs. Right. Sorry for the convenience. You're like, fuck.
That's the fucking line where it says,
dude.
It shouldn't say broken. It should say escalator. temporarily stairs. Sorry for the convenience.
You're like, fuck, dude. The guy was just good on so many levels. Dude, I like the UPS man because he's a drug dealer and he doesn't know it.
Right.
He had so many fucking things.
Long before that was even like a fucking thing that people had even.
Yeah, dude.
Like, you probably had to be deep into the underworld when Mitch Hedberg wrote that fucking joke. It's in the fucking mail like that.
And hey, listen, let's not get it twisted. Mitch Hedberg was deep into the underworld. Like, homeboy was not like, listen, like all those guys that respected him, they'll even tell you like, no, but I mean, that guy was on some drugs. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But he was just so good at what he did, man. Like, there's not a lot of guys that nobody could do that style of comedy and do it well. Like, I actually listened to the other day, like this is a little bit off topic, but just talking about comics. I listened to Patrice O'Neal talking about Dane Cook.
I saw that pop up on my YouTube stuff too.
Dude, and he's talking Dane Cook with fucking God damn it.
Another Boston comic.
No, dude, the guy that Maron. No, he's talking about with Maron. It was Mark Maron, because Mark Maron had Dane Cook on his show, and Mark Maron called fucking Dane Cook out for, a little bit of joke stealing stuff, a little bit of just being a fucking slapsticky fucking bullshit comic, and fucking Patrice O'Neal, dude, like. Every time I hear him, dude, I just respect him more and more. He fucking, dude, Maron gets on there and he calls Maron out. And he's like, no, look, dude. He was like, here's the thing. Motherfuckers are jealous of Dane Cook. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, no, look, because we all want to be that feelings comedy that talks about fucking, like, philosophy and our feelings and how things fuck with you. And Dane Cook's not that guy, right? And he was like, he's not that dude. He was like, and we're mad because he's successful at just being a happy fucking bullshit comic.
So
basically, but he was like, in reality, though, he's a good comic. He's a good comic. He's just not our comic. He's not, you know what I mean? And
he's not that brand.
Yeah, and it was just so good the way that Patrice said it. And obviously, I'm not saying it the way that Patrice did, but it just.
Dude, Patrice will put it like, and if you don't know, there's a documentary coming out. We definitely got to promote this.
That's should have been out fucking years ago.
Years ago. But there's, by the way, it's up on the internet right now. If you go to YouTube, I sincerely suggest you watch it. It's probably close to half of the documentary because it shows every interview from every comic that was interviewed for this documentary about Patrice that is yet to come out, but the interviews are on YouTube right now. Better Than Me.
Yeah.
Or Better Than You, excuse me.
Yeah, Better Than You
is the name of the documentary that's being made about Patrice. But the interviews are up there, and they're all our favorite people, of course. Big J, Jim Norton, Colin Quinn.
Yeah, David Tell. There's
the best.
Yeah.
And you fucking hear these people, Jim Norton breaks down. There's people crying in the middle of this because, they weren't just fellow comics. They had a community going, man. Like in the same way that I feel like a lot of us used to. We had a community going where it was like, I don't know, but this is our little thing, We're Seller Comics and that crew deal. But anyway, go watch those. I'm sorry I fucking totally curtailed anything else, but we're also fucking 20 minutes overdue, so
yeah.
Fuck you and your mothers and all that
I gotta
stuff.
fucking call it.
Yeah, and I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Good show tonight. Lots of fun topics, in-depth topics, and, you know, sad we lost Vinnie Paul. I'm not going to fucking play a Pantera or Hell Yeah song to roll us out with because we ended with Mitch Hedberg, and we might as well fucking leave you guys with
fucking
comment.
Do it. Yeah.
They say the recipe for Sprite is lemon and lime, but I tried to make it at home. There's more to it than that.
Yes.
Want some more homemade Sprite? Not till you figure out what the fuck else is in it. I like refried beans. That's why I want to try fried beans, because maybe they're just as good and we're wasting time. You don't have to fry them again after all. I eat a lot of sandwiches. Who doesn't, man? Sandwiches are easy to eat. But I hate sandwiches at New York delis. Too much fucking meat on the sandwich. It's like a cow with a cracker on either side. What would you like, sir? A pastrami sandwich. Anything else? Yeah, a loaf of bread and some other people. What kind of bread? Rye. No, fuck. Banana. You got banana bread? What kind of cheese? Cottage. Get the fuck out. I'm not making a banana bread pastrami cottage cheese sandwich. That will severely ruin my reputation. I order the club sandwich all the time, and I'm not even a member, man. I don't know how I get away with it. I like my sandwiches with 3 pieces of bread. So do I. Well, let's form a club there. Okay, but we need some more stipulations. Yes, we do. Instead of cutting the sandwich once, let's cut it again. Yes, 4 triangles. And we will position them into a circle. And in the middle, we will dump chips. Or potato salad. Okay. Let me ask you a question. How you feel about frilly toothpicks? I'm for 'em. Well, this club is formed. Spread the word on menus nationwide. I like my sandwiches with alfalfa sprouts. Well, you're not in the fucking club. I went to a pizzeria, I ordered a slice of pizza. The fucker gave me the smallest slice possible. If the pizza was a pie chart for what people would do if they found $1 million, the fucker gave me the donate it to charity slice.